Security Breach is one of the most unique games in the FNAF series. However, pretty much every single threat is dealt with in the exact same way. But what if we changed that and gave every single animatronic a unique mechanic? Well, in this video, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to be going over every single Security Breach animatronic and giving them a completely unique mechanic, including a few faces that were not really present in the actual game. So, without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, we have a lot of characters to get through, so let's start with our good pal, Glamrock Freddy. This lovable guy is your only friend throughout and definitely the most unique character of the bunch. However, I think there is one instance where Freddy should be an active animatronic, and that's in the one place that he normally can't enter, and one that he is actually quite known for, Fazablast. In this level normally, you face off against Chica, which doesn't really make much sense. So let's make Freddy the threat in this section. Now for why Freddy is here, let's just make it that Freddy has a mode that forces him to play, but at nighttime it gets corrupted and he kills you. However, in terms of dealing with him, it won't be too difficult. The idea is that while you're playing, Freddy will track you and run straight for you, and you need to shoot him with the Fazablaster to repel him. Basically, you would shoot him and then he would run away for a bit and then come back, which will create a ton of tension since you wouldn't be able to know where Freddy is coming from since you'd be able to hear him everywhere. Every other instance of Freddy is honestly fine, and we won't go into any more ideas for Freddy since he's not the focus of this video. Now next up, we have Chica, who is the first character that you technically deal with besides the beginning chase of the main three. Chica's entire personality is just being a scatterbrained mess, so I want to make their mechanic match this. So here's the idea. Chica will lock onto the player when they enter their line of sight and never ever lose sight of the player, even if the player goes around a corner or enters a hiding space. The only way to lose Chica is to hit a distraction, otherwise Chica will find you. However, to compensate, Chica's eyesight is not that good and she can only see from like a 5-minute distance, and she's slower than the player. Although as the game goes on, she will get faster and see you from further. Once you break Chica, she becomes more dangerous, able to see you from further, and she will only be repelled by Freddy's voice. However, if you walk around the corner, you will lose her and she can be stunned by the Fazablaster, although she can still never lose you technically, and this will apply to the normal Chica too. This will probably make Chica a lot more scary, since she doesn't just lose you, which would make the whole game a lot scarier. Our next character is Roxy, who is the most egotistical and most depressed FNAF character ever, but she's also got those super eyes that can see through walls, meaning that she can see you from anywhere. However, this would make her super unfair, so I came up with a few ideas on how she would work. Roxy can see through hiding spots, so hiding in them will let her see you immediately. However, she won't always decide to look through walls, and she's way slower than all the other characters. Roxy can sometimes decide to look through walls if she knows you're in the area, and she can only see through walls directly next to her. However, like I said, she will be way slower and lose you really easily. I will also make her super dangerous by having her be able to see you in Freddy, although she won't be able to force Freddy open, so she'll just follow you unless you enter a recharge station. However, once she gets damaged, she'll become way more dangerous. In this version, although she can't see you, if she senses that you went into Freddy, she will force open Freddy's hatch and kill you. But obviously everywhere else she is blind and basically a normal enemy, which would give Roxy some character and make her an actual threat. Monty is the most dangerous of the main three, and it's kinda obvious why. He can't be stunned, he's strong as hell, and he's got those super gnarly claws that can tear through just about fucking anything. So let's explore some ideas. Now Monty in my mind should have a breaking ability, which has become a bit of a meme on this channel. So things Monty will be able to break. Any hiding spot he sees you enter, and that's pretty much it. The idea with Monty is that he will be able to burst through any obstacle to find the closest path to you. AKA, we are making Giga Monty an actual thing. However, unlike Chica, he will have terrible eyesight due to the 6 shades. So if he can get out of your sight for 5 seconds, he will lose you. Although his eyesight will be a bit better than Chica's. However, if you are near a recharge station when he loses sight of you, he will assume that you were in the recharge station and destroy the recharge station. Now, that's all normal Monty can do. However, once you destroy him, I think he should replace the Mini Music Man. Well, not replace, but basically any vent that exists will have Shattered Monty, and if you enter a room with a vent opening, he has a chance to appear from there and drop out of the vent, and he'll behave very similar to how he does usually, except he won't be able to destroy anything. But he will be able to see twice as far, so you better make sure you dip as soon as you can. And now we have covered the main 4. Let's move on to the rest of the cast, but before we move on, let me quickly ask you to subscribe. I'll be personally thanking all my subscribers at 100k, and it helps me out a ton. But anyways, let's move on to the daycare attendant. Sun/Moon are probably the most unique characters in all of Five Nights at Freddy's, having a sort of Golem/Smeagol feel to them. So I think we should find a way to make both of them fit, since in the main game, it's only Moon who really does anything. So let's change that. So Sun/Moon will show up throughout the building and the lights will flicker on and off at random intervals, and when the lights turn off, Sun will turn into Moon and track the player down and kill them, unless they can go into a hiding spot before they get found. Afterwards, the lights will turn on and Sun will be walking around, and this would only happen at set times in certain areas, but it won't be tied to any typical nighttime events that you see in the base game. This would allow you to actually see Sun and Moon a lot more, plus I think it would also be cool if you return to the daycare if there was some sort of task where you'd be allowed back into the daycare if you completed a task for Sun. But that's just an idea. The staff bots are honestly completely fine the way they are, and I feel the same way about the Glamrock Endos. However, I think the Endos should appear way more often and have the added mechanic that when the lights are off from Moon, the Endos don't care if you're looking at them and will move freely. Now, the Mini Music Man is again pretty good the way he is in the game. I don't think we'll change him all too much. However, that's not what we'll be doing with our next character, DJ Music Man. DJ Music Man is probably the most underused character besides Vanny, and we can really make this character work a lot more than he does in the base game. So here's the idea. Throughout the dance floor, Music Man will pop out of the various holes and attempt to grab you, as well as sometimes chase you throughout, making you use hiding spots way more often and actually making you have to dodge him, which would make the final chase also more meaningful. Now, Vanessa only appears once in the entire game as an actual threat, and every other time that you deal with her, it's just in cutscenes. So I think we could definitely make her a bit more of a challenge to deal with. Vanessa will patrol the multiple areas of the Pizzaplex and can see you from quite a ways away. If she has you in her line of sight for more than 10 seconds, the closest animatronic will spawn next to her and begin chasing. She would be more like an advanced staff bot than anything else, but she could still work really well in my mind. However, when it goes to her alter ego, she will become way more dangerous. Vanny is easily the most underutilized character in Security Breach, but I have a cool idea that could work. From time to time, Vanny will spawn in the area and patrol to look for you. If you're in a 15 by 15 radius, Vanny has a chance to create a fake version of herself which will distract you from the normal Vanny, who will always have a sense of knowing exactly where you are. And unlike the actual game, she will always try and spawn in front of you rather than behind you to prevent you from never seeing her. But with that, we only have 2 more characters left, and both only appear in one section of the game, that being the Blob and Burn Trap. Burn Trap is honestly completely fine, however, we could do something cool with the Blob. The Blob is this massive character who I think could have a really cool mechanic. Once you destroy all 3 animatronics, all vents will spawn the Blob's tentacles if you get too close, which is a simple change that could push you in the right direction towards the end of the game. However, even though I said the Blob was the last character, we actually do have one more character that we can explore before the end of this video, and that character is Glamrock Bonnie. Glamrock Bonnie, who is heavily implied to exist but doesn't actually appear, should really be in the game since he has one of the coolest designs in Security Breach. So here's the idea I have for him. Glamrock Bonnie will be an Easter egg in the Bonnie Bowl section, and will act like a final boss for a secret Bonnie Bowl ending. When activated, he will patrol Bonnie Bowl and attempt to find you and kill you. Bonnie will be able to see where Freddy is at all times, and if you enter Freddy to try and sneak past him, he will lock onto Freddy and completely destroy him, causing you to die. I think this would really make Bonnie a real threat and not just a mystery character, because we all know he deserves better than just being an Easter egg. But with that, we have covered every single character in Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. Let me know if you want to see me do this with the Ruin characters, since that will probably be the last game I ever do with this series, at least for FNAF for the time being. However, if you're interested in coding this version of the game, or any of the other versions I've made for this game, let me know on Discord below. I would actually be curious to see if anyone wants to try and code these. But anyways, thanks for watching, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.